Okay, so this is the whole back strap that's been removed from our mule deer. What I like to do, you've got the back half. Now this would have been down at the hip. This would have been up near the neck here. So there are some attached pieces that kind of end here, and you can see where that comes to an end. So what I like to do, instead of working on one big giant piece, is just cut this in half right here and then clean the two separate halves of it. So this is an important piece. This is like one of the best steaks, so we're trying to be very clean with our cuts and remove just the paper thin slice necessary to clean the piece without wasting and throwing too much in the garbage. Move this piece here for the stew bucket. Flip this over. Pick whichever side that's going to be most accessible. Long, smooth cut, base to tip with your knife. A lot of the things, if you're making a top cut like this, you can use pressure from your hand to hold it still. Sliding my knife just under the tendon there. And there's some feel for this too. Getting the angle of your blade just right so that you're not cutting down into the meat, but you're also not cutting up so much that you cut through the tendon, then you got a bunch of small pieces you're trying to remove. You want to try to get it off smooth as possible. And really, that's just about good enough there. A piece of fat we don't want on there. That piece is very clean, nice, long, smooth cuts. And if you have a little bit where this is really the main part of the job, getting what you missed, and so it doesn't go to waste. A few extra bites. Okay, the other half of the back strap. Come in, remove this big, thick top tendon. Whenever I'm cutting, I'm making sure that my hand is not behind the force of that blade. Even when I come at myself, I'm making sure that you can't have the knife pointing at your belly. You have to make sure that if you're applying force somewhere and that force releases, that you don't have any part of you behind the blade as it lets go. Junk. Move some of this loose stuff off the bottom. It can be utilized as burger. Trying to make the piece look as nice as we can without wasting too much of it. Now on this deer, we leave this little side piece on an elk. It's so much larger that we remove this side piece, take out the rest of this tendon, and then this is actually part of the ribeye, so on an elk we'll separate this and wrap the pieces together whole, but that way we can make the rest of the back strap free of this tendon. On a deer, a lot of times the deer's so small that by the time you remove the side piece, you've really shrunken the whole back strap up. So we'll leave it like so, and there it is.